It's good to see you back in the world of technology, at least publicly back in the world of technology. You know, I was reading about parallel web systems, the idea that the customer is the AI agent, and there's just a place to start. Tell us about this startup, what you're doing, why you're doing it.
Hey, Ed, first of all, thank you so much for having me. After leaving Twitter, one of the things I was doing was just writing a bunch of code, tinkering around. I was actually building AI agents a couple of years ago that were mostly collecting information from the web, bringing it back to me so that I could read it. And I had a couple of realizations doing so. One, that the AI agents are going to be the primary customer of the web going forward. They will use the web a lot more than humans ever have. And two, the web that exists isn't built for them. It's not ready for them. Everything I and so many people have built over the last 30 years has been built for humans. And for AIs, their needs are different. And that's the problem that we're starting at Parallel. And that's why we describe AI agents as our primary customer for all the technology that we're building.
There is actually some news that we're breaking here, right, which is that you've raised around $30 million for Parallel. You know, that's a lot out the gate. Just tell us about how that came about and the team that you've built.
When we started with this vision, our vision's like a big vision in order to really transform what the open web looks like. Doing so requires reimagining from the ground up every part of the infrastructure that spans the crawl, the index, ranking systems, reasoning systems, completely new interfaces built for AI systems. And as we sort of thought about what it would take to build all of this, I think that was the appropriate amount of money to raise. The team we have is also the one needed to take on this problem. The team around me is the team that built a lot of the key primitives of the current human web, whether it be at social networks like Twitter and Snap, or at Stripe, and even marketplaces at Airbnb. And so the best people who've sort of built the previous version of the web, recognizing ways in which it does not serve the needs of what's coming, have now come together to build this future web.
All right. Ed started off by saying the customer is the agent here, but who actually is the customer? I'm seeing the integration with Lindy, for example, with AI agents, but more broadly, who buys you? Whose problems are you solving? Is it those of OpenAI and Perplexity who are busy building the agentic platforms?
I think one way to think about our customer set, right? If you think of any piece of software or any workflow, both of those are changing. They're changing by incorporating models like LLMs into them that give them intelligence. Now, once you have those, it almost feels silly to not have access to the open web in order to serve your customers or do your workflows. Let me give you an example.
Yeah.
We work with a large insurance company. One of the things they do is underwriting, wherein there's a bunch of people that spend 30 minutes, perhaps even 2 hours, understanding a business they're about to underwrite, to understand everything about it and discover all long-tail risk signals anywhere on the web. Now, they've been doing that with human operations forever. As we started working with them and they incorporated our APIs into how they do things, combining all of the data from the web with all of the internal proprietary information that they have collected, they're actually able to outperform humans meaningfully, not just in terms of cost and how fast you can do things, but in terms of quality, because it turns out humans hallucinate too.
Briefly, Parag, you built parallel web systems hot on the heels of a very combative few years having led Twitter, but you were known as like building the machine learning systems over at Twitter and now X. Parag, what lessons have you learned to bring to this new company?
One, a lot of the lessons from the past no longer apply. When you're thinking of building machine learning systems, when we're building those at Twitter in 2014, they look very, very different from the systems we're now able to build, the velocity at which we're able to move, and the kinds of problems we're able to take on. What remains similar, though, for people who've been doing machine learning for a while, is the mindset of solving problems end to end understanding evals, dealing with stochastic systems. And I think those are the lessons that truly inform us.
Parag, Sun Valley 2022, I was there. I remember seeing you there. And then everything that followed, just for the first time, reflect a little bit on what happened. And yeah, please.
What happened was we built over 11 years that I was at Twitter, one of the most consequential platforms to exist. It allowed everyone to speak and hear directly from others. And there is nothing like it. And I'm very proud of what I was able to achieve there with my years. Now, of course, there was a lot more to be done. It remains a platform that matters in the world. But my new mission pulls a thread from that, which is how do you keep the web open? It's the same mission around allowing everyone to publish openly on the web, around every AI being able to access what everyone is publishing freely. There is a risk on the open web wherein we might have a bunch of paywalls and silos, and an AI model from one vendor is able to access certain parts of the web while the agent you might run on your computer using open source software cannot. And that's not the future I want. And that's why we're building Parallel.